With me now is Phillip Blond, who's director of the think tank Res Publica. And Phillip, a lot of people are just against this per se, but it says more about the reputation of MPs perhaps than what they're earning.
Yeah, I mean, politicians are popular hate figures, but I think that we should be careful about that, because actually what's happening is, unless we're careful, politics will be the domain of either the highly ideological, those who do it for nothing, or the extremely wealthy. And actually, if you think about it, surely MPs are perhaps the most important public servants in the land. Yet just on public sector pay, I'm not even talking about private sector pay, many public servants are paid far more than even the current pay rise takes them to. GPs, for instance, 16,000 GPs are paid more than 100,000. 600 GPs are paid more than 200,000. Heads of academies, the starting salary for a head of an academy is 110,000, and many are now advertising for 150,000. If you're the clerk of a town hall, 134 of those are on salaries greater than 150,000. So what I'm trying to say is actually MPs, and people won't like to hear this, but I think actually the logic of the argument is clear, are actually still dramatically underpaid compared to what I think are clear comparative professions within the public sector. And if you go back to the 2010 election, quite a comprehensive survey was undertaken, and it found that over 50% of MPs in 2010 took a pay cut to be an MP, and 31% took a pay cut of over 30,000. And I think if we actually care about democracy, I think it's proper that actually people who do become among the top public servants in our country are properly rewarded, because otherwise we create enormous economic barriers to people becoming MPs, and it becomes the career path of those who are so ideologically motivated, you know, they'd probably pay to be MPs. And actually it creates barriers for ordinary people who become highly successful, and aren't those the sort of people we'd like to see in the House actually entering politics?
You say people probably don't want to hear it. One of the reasons they probably don't want to hear it right now, there's never a good time to announce this, but a week after a Chancellor says the public sector and the NHS and others working there are getting 1% for 5 years, it's the smack of hypocrisy about all this that people do resent.
Well, it's not really hypocrisy. IPSA are an independent public body, and they can't really be criticised if they've come up with an independent assessment. And actually, I think IPSA are to be congratulated, because in the face of widespread hostility, often by party leaders, they've actually stuck to their guns quite rightly. And let me tell you another reason. The reason why party leaders often want their MPs to be poorly paid is it's another way of controlling them, because they can offer them ministerial jobs and increase their salary. And actually, I think what a democracy needs are people who are economically secure enough to sit on the back benches and be a check on the executive. So really, if you believe in democracy, I'm sorry to say this, and I know people won't like this, actually we do need to pay our MPs properly, and that even means paying them more than the current award takes them to.
Taking that argument forward, does that mean the more you pay the MPs, the better MPs that you will get?
No, I'm not in favour of that, because I think being an MP is an honour and a virtue in and of itself. What I'm trying to say is the barriers now to people becoming an MP are so dramatic. Remember, you know, in the 2010 election, some people had nearly a third of MPs took a pay cut of over 30,000. That's a significant barrier to popular participation. And so we don't want to, if we want to be ruled by the people who are amongst the most talented, amongst the best in their professions, do we really want to have barriers against them becoming politicians?
And they shouldn't have second jobs either.
Well, you see, I think that's the deal to be struck. The deal to be struck is pay them properly, for goodness sake, but don't let them have second jobs. And I think that's the sort of parity that I think would be popular and would help protect our democracy and not create these barriers. We don't want to just have a political system where only the wealthy can really afford to join in.
Phillip, it's good of you to come in. Thank you very much. Phillip Blond from Res Publica. Thank you.